Happy Thursday, Tommy Grisafi, ATI ProMedia. Were you at the party last night? There was a grain party and everyone was invited, but did you take the time to enjoy the party? Because we had beans up 15 last night. We had major markets crossing 50-day moving averages. Gold, absolute explosion. Gold was up after hours. We had a Fed meeting yesterday. Now, we all knew, we've talked about this a lot. We didn't think the Fed was going to move rates, and they didn't. But Jay Powell delivered with the Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, all at record highs. Are you part of the 401k party? Are you part of the grain party? How did this happen? Because there's so much money in the world. We talked about it yesterday on the show. We've talked about it on the days past. There's this pile of cash just sitting there waiting for something to do. Does it want to make 5%? Does it want to try to make 400% in NVIDIA? Does it want to try to do this? Is it Captain Conservative? Or does it want to buy farmland? But the one thing that's not been super popular is buying grains. Now, here's the deal. The funds are short grains. We know that. We have a major U.S. report in stocks and acreage on March 28th. So we know the farmer's position. You're long 3-4 times more than the funds are short. But the funds kind of got a little scared, and we've crossed some major averages. We'll see what it all means. Nikkei made new all-time highs. Of course, you want on the weird side because, hey, we're live. Pirates, Somalian pirates taking over ships. That's actually really happened. We got some great graphics on that we're going to show you. Drought monitor maps out. With that, I think we're just going to talk, look at some charts. In a weird way, with all that news that happened last night, it's actually a quiet news day because the risk happened last night. Let's bring them in, boys. Connor, Brady, let's just do a free-for-all here, get through this, look at some charts.
We go.
Yeah, Brady waiting by the wings. Oh, didn't have his mic ready. Look at that. You never know. Okay, guys, I'm excited. I don't know why, because it's Thursday, but markets happened last night. I will say this. I'll give you guys a chance to talk in a little bit. Like, hey, Brady's just sitting there. I'm just waiting for my turn to talk. Last night felt odd. I mean, I understood what happened with the stocks closing on the high. I understood what happened with the dollar. Gold exploded. It was no shock to me. Grains were going to go up and add some risk premium to it. But when beans went up 15, I actually made a video. Joe has a clip of that. I made a video and sent it to my clients. I sent it to ATI ProMedia clients because I thought by the morning we'd be in a different scenario. And by golly, we are, aren't we, guys? Who wants to quote up the markets here?
I don't have my quotes up. Go ahead, Connor.
I got you guys. Corn, speaking of that big overnight rally right now, soybeans, May soybeans down 3, right? Not the opening we wanted to see, and corn's pulling back as well. December corn, or I'll go May corn's at 441, high was 446. May soybeans 1207, the overnight high 1226. So a big pullback from what Tommy was talking about. I think we got some charts. Let's pull them in later if that works for you guys. You want to hit these outside markets? Let's talk stocks, gold, and then we'll jump into grains, do a deep dive. How's that sound?
Yeah, I'm refiring up my charts. You guys talk amongst yourselves a little bit. Let me ask you this. When you guys are sitting at home last night and you're getting videos from me at 9:30 at night, you think I'm out of my mind, or does it make sense what we're doing here?
What a powerful tool. Go ahead, Connor.
Number one, I always think you're out of your mind. So that's a moot
good
point. 9 p.m., 9 a.m. But yeah, I saw the markets were moving. I'm like, here we go. Tommy Grisafi, he is working hard. He's hitting it. So all right.
Well, it's such a powerful tool to be able to blast that out to hundreds of people, your customers, and it's so much more effective than an email. You can type a text, you can put an email together, but there's a little, you sense the tone in Tommy's voice when he sends that out. So it was a great video, and I shared it with my customers.
Real quick, guys, I'm working on a single laptop. So any chart you want, tell me, talk slow, don't talk over each other. Try not to talk over each other. We got a good group of people logging on. Let's go over the charts unless you want to do headlines first or anything else. We kind of went through those. I mean, Joe could pop them up again. Everything made new highs last night. Everything. As far as it comes to outside markets, gold, foreign countries, everything else. And we're pushing through that again. Today's quote board, I do have my quotes back up. Corn up 1, beans down 2. This quote board looks nothing like it looked last night. Actually, I'm terribly disappointed on what's going on here. Gold's only up 27. It was up 65. Every ounce of gold in the world went up $65 an ounce last night. I'm telling you, everyone out there, you don't get to choose when to manage risk. And hey, speaking of risk management, we were going to talk about that a little bit. Connor, kick it old school with what you did when markets are really depressed like they were 6 weeks ago. Tell us about the pickle and how all of a sudden farmers' ability to sell premium and do things they have no idea what they're doing. How does that pick up at the dead lows when they should be doing that at the dead high?
Yeah, you're talking, and I apologize. I'm having some internet trouble, so if I cut out, just cut me off. But you're speaking on when we're at the lows, when we start doing. Are you mentioning those like OTC contracts, Tommy? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I had farmers call me a few weeks ago, and they're like, "Hey, I sold this much at 490. If we go up to 420, I'm going to love it." Or
Yeah.
480, 490, 520. I'm going to absolutely love it. Well, are you really? I mean, if we really have a drought, are you going to love being doubled up on a short crop and then being multiple dollars over? So what looks good now sometimes doesn't end up looking good later. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. Those contracts we're kind of selling volatility, right? We're going to bet this market's going to stay flat and we're going to pick up a premium. But I think if we look back 15 years, if we look back 20 years, betting against volatility in a 12-month time frame, it's not a good bet. This market moves even when we think it's not going to. And so when we look at that, when we look at the money, right, if we're just because we have the accumulator that we did with the elevator, with the ethanol plant, what have you, right? If we look at the mechanics behind it, right, they're selling a couple calls, selling a put, make sure we understand the risks involved and make sure we understand the dollars involved would be my advice, is always looking at that.
Yep. I had a lot of clients come me last few days and say, "Hey, I have May basis, and I locked in the basis really well, but of course the futures are so much lower, so they're still tripping over dollars to pick up nickels, trying to be great basis traders, and as if it's a trick. And it's just it's odd. It's odd when corn had a floor last year of 591 that no one wanted to sell it, but now people are willing to get doubled up, tripled up, this and everything else at like a 421 cash price to them this fall or something ridiculous.
Yep.
So, folks, just be careful out there. That's all.
Yep. I go back to 2020 is when the last time I remember those type of contracts really gaining traction. We could have that hedge level, that top end at $4. It felt great. Only problem was by that fall, we were at 440. By that February, March, we were at $6, $7. So keep that in mind when we think we got a dull market. It tends to surprise us. So Speaking of that, are we going to deep dive in the charts? Tommy, let's look at Nov 24 soybeans if you can pull it up. That's the one that's really moving.
To me, tell me what you want, and I can get that. Nov 24 coming up.
Yeah. And so
are we above $12 there right now, or just kind of under it still?
11.99.
11.99.
I think that's under
it. This is why I talk about having those orders in at night. Last night we went as high as 12.16. 12.16 in no beans last night, and May beans hit as high as 12.26. May beans are now trading 12.06, a solid 20 cents off the highs while you were sleeping. That is risk. We are
adding color to the chart. Is this a minute chart, Tommy?
No, that's a day chart. That's a day chart.
That's a day chart. Okay.
You want to see a 5 minute? Here we go.
Let's look at a short term.
There we go.
Here we go. Yeah.
Look at that.
And so look at that nice open, and then we just faded as we went down, bouncing a little bit off the lows. Yeah, right at $12, 11.99 and 3/4. And so, as we said, great overnight markets. Right, we had a strong close too. Can we go back to the daily, Tommy?
Mm-hmm. This is November daily.
November daily, yeah. So great close at the end of the day. Right, what was that? The last 30 minutes of the day, last hour, we saw a good run up in soybeans and then good follow through overnight, right? Trending above those moving averages that Tommy's got in there on the green and red lines. And then we saw that pullback as we looked. And where's that line at? 11.88. Any reason you got that line on there, Tommy?
That was yesterday. That was drawn from yesterday, and we blew through that, and there we go. Yeah, sometimes the lines carry over. Interesting, because I think tomorrow, guys, and as we come into the crop report, I'm going to add the 100 days to all this. We have our 20, our 50, add the 100 and see what folks are looking at here. Anything else you'd like me to pull up?
Keep an eye. There's a gap on this chart, on the bean chart as well. I think that's worthy of pointing out on the no beans and
1240, Brady.
I believe so. It's you can't see it in a line chart, but on a candlestick chart, you can see a gap. I think on Nove, it's up there at 1240. And then on May, I think it's right at 1306 up there. So that's food for the bulls, a little fodder for the bulls to get them excited. But to your guys' point earlier about risk management, if you're feeling like crap a month ago, you got a great opportunity to make a decision and do something here.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, this is so important. This was trying to say in my video yesterday. I'm going to pull back up my I'm struggling here. Okay, I'm pulling back up my so I could see you guys.
It's difficult with one screen, isn't it, Tom?
It is. This is coming from a guy who normally has 6 in front of him. There's crop insurance is at 1160, and all of a sudden we're trading 1210. Whose job and how do we cover that gap from 1160 to $13? Say, let's say we get her going this spring, or we have a bullish bean acre. Who wants to grab that, Connor or Brady?
I'll go one step further, because that 1166, right? Is that the number? We don't get all of that, right, guys? It's if we're doing a revenue program, let's take the 85%. And so if we take that off the price, right, you leave your yield constant, that floor is closer to around 990. I think if we take the 85%, it's in that $10 range. So that gap gets even wider if we're looking at. And then, Tommy, you say this all the time. What if we pretend we're good at farming, right? Let's throw a bigger yield number at it. That price floor gets worse. So how do we cover that gap, right, into the uncertainty in the next 5 months? I think if we're looking at risk management, right, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, some of them, maybe it's already planners are rolling, right? We're going to be really active. The marketing plan's got to be in place. And if we can put some floors in place and be ready for any type of volatility and the uncertainty we're going to see in the next 4 months, I think that's a good plan to have.
Yep. Joe, show people who we had on premium content yesterday, and then we could roll that ad. We had Jesse Allen yesterday, midweek market update, interesting conversation with Jesse Allen. Of course, hit the next one. That was me. I did that last night at around 8:30, headed out to clients, both Tom Grisafi personal clients and ATI ProMedia clients. Joe, roll the ad real quick. Tell people what. Welcome to ATI Pro Media, powered by Advanced Trading. We're a financial channel that loves agriculture. For just $1 a day, you'll receive advanced trading research, actionable text, and a minimum of 6 videos a week featuring industry experts and insight. Click the button below to subscribe today. All right, with that, today's afternoon premium content will be me again talking about here's the video from last night. We'll distribute that. This is how the market's closed, and this is why it's so important to have those offers in, have those bids. If you're trying to buy insurance, have those bids in to buy the put, have those offers in to make those cash sales. And it's not new to us. Me personally, my favorite day of the week to manage risk is Sunday night. When we have that price discovery gap up or down on Sunday nights, I love to it's a wonderful opportunity on how prices swing there real quick. Do you have a chart, Brady?
Yeah, I just loaded it up here. Let's throw that up there. Got drought monitor. We get these every day at Thursday morning. UNL puts these out, I believe. We got this year on the left and a year ago on the right. Quite a different story in that picture there.
And not a whole, I mean, if we've pulled this up multiple weeks, I don't see, and I could be wrong here, but I don't see any material changes yet in that drought monitor. Northeast Iowa, still very dry. Missouri, southern Illinois parts are still seeing that, right? We caught a lot of precipitation. If you remember last week, right, I was dodging tornadoes. We caught that rain, but I haven't seen the drought monitor change yet, would be my comments there.
Yeah, real color on this, where it is orange up there in Minnesota, they're looking at 12 to 18 inches of snow, and that ground should be able to accept that and leak right back into it. That drought monitor might look different in a week or two, guys and gals at home. Also, there's enough white on that drought monitor to grow big bushels. I mean, that whole western belt, Illinois has very little. You have Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio almost with zero drought. Gas has already been put on. I talked to a client in Central Illinois yesterday. Actually, this morning, he was putting some more gas on. I think we're ready to go. When that weather breaks, I think we're going to go at it hard. And I really believe what happened the last few days was quite an opportunity before we come into that crop report next week. But
absolutely,
if we do have the drought, then there was things people can do also. It's so much fun to talk about having a drought and the market's going up. What you forget is someone's not growing the bushels. So the math doesn't always work out so well if you're the one who didn't grow the bushels. Now, if we seesaw and we have the fake drought shoot up, no one does anything, and then we shoot down, that's even worse. Then your banker thinks, yeah, remember corn shot up to 550 and you're selling it all at 399 cash. They're going to look at you like, what the heck are you thinking? And that could happen also. Anything else, guys, before we start to wrap things up or wind things down?
No, happy March Madness. I don't know who you guys got as favorites, but if you can see my shirt, I'll give you a wild guess who I'm cheering for. And so we'll see how that works out.
Connor.
Quick, we do have a question. Brady will grab this one. Let's see. Looks like a hard one. We send those to Brady.
There we go. Yeah, the difficult department. Luke, what's the consensus on what caused this nice pop in beans yesterday and overnight? Does the market know something we don't yet? Just like Tommy said, the overnight jump hit a price target for us. It's a good question, Luke. Great opportunity, I believe so. Veg oil, palm oil, those are things I think that may be leading the charge. And then just a general overnight, there was a lot of green on the screen. We talked about this all the time. Some days it's red on the board and some days it's green on the board. It's risk on or risk off. And it was a risk on overnight. You guys have any other color to add to Luke's question?
Rains in South America, excessive rains. I've seen us explode in the spring before on them having a hard time. Of course, you got to understand South America, they're expanding their acreage that they're planting, but they don't have the best roads and everything else. Whereas here we have really high quality roads and ability to get our crops in and out. They get a little sloppy when it rains. In the end, if the bushel's there, I think they'll get it. I really feel like weather rallies, like a rain in South America delaying harvest or causing a little problem, is a wonderful opportunity to, if not sell, at least protect.
Yep.
Great question.
Absolutely.
Before we go, Connor,
Yes.
you got in trouble yesterday, 2 days ago, for bashing on Purdue, right? I got to defend. I'm not K-State guy, but I'm going to defend the Purdue guys. Got
All right.
one little zinger here for you.
I've heard reports that the Indiana watchers, the customers, they're a little upset with me. They didn't like me taking sides. So I want to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely no one. ILL all the way. Here we go.
Connor,
Our version of a pirate, just going after it. Look at Connor, just putting it all out there. Hey, real quick, guys, everyone out there watching, I forgot to mention something so important. Of everything that happened financially, this is what you need to know yesterday. Interest rates are not going down anytime soon. They now only have 3 rate cuts. And I'm telling you, folks, if gold keeps going up, crude keeps going up, stock market keeps going up, they're going to back those up. I personally feel the Fed's got its back against the wall. But if we come into the election with the stock market on the highs, that makes it easier for the current administration to say, I did that. And so I think yesterday was one more sign that interest rates are not going down anytime soon. My friends and family in the housing industry are like, oh, thought the Fed was going to lower that. And they're making stuff up. They're so desperate for rates to go down. We're having a normalization of interest rates, and it's very much going to affect farmers, how we carry grain, and the cost of carrying grain. To add to that, yes, corn's rallied 30 cents, but you spent another 3-4 months waiting for that. You've gobbled up 15 or 20 cents in that 30-40 cent rally. Do you guys agree with that?
Absolutely. That's great points.
And it's not even, you're not even considering storage costs as well. So add that on top if we got it stored at the elevator. So
with that, we'll be here. I'll read the tape here. Need to get a hold of us, 1-855-737-FARM. Email us at info@ATI ProMedia. Jesse Allen was yesterday's premium content. Today, 2-part series, Tom Grisafi, what the markets looked like last night versus how they closed today. Catch me live on RFD TV at 11:45. But heck, we have plenty of people watching here. To the 200 people watching, thank you very much. Connor Bridgman, Assumption, Illinois. Tom Grisafi, undisclosed location. Brady Huck hiding in his basements. I think he needs bifocals because every time Brady reads the screen, he goes in like that. And we're going to get him a pair of ATI ProMedia bifocals. Everyone have a great day. Be in a good mood. My name's Tommy Grisafi, and I'm Bullish Agriculture. See you, boys.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.